Hi friends, it's Melody here with Design by Melody for the Sonshine Stamp Company design team. I am doing my final layout for the design team, and it's so sad because I've been on the design team for 6 months and I don't know exactly what happened to those whole 6 months, but this is my final layout and I'm going to do a Christmas layout. Now I know we're at the end of January, but of course we still have Christmas photos sitting around, and these are actually from 2015, so these are quite a bit older than what the ones you probably have sitting on your desk are. But anyways, I am pulling out my Christmas stash, and a lot of the products that I'm using are from October Afternoon. I'm going to be using 4 different stamp sets from Sonshine Stamp Company not design team, but Sonshine Stamp Company shop. So make sure you check out the links in the description box below, and make sure you go check them out because she has some awesome designs on her stamps. They're really, really cute, and I really have loved working with them. So make sure you go check them out. If you have not checked them out and you've been watching my videos, make sure you go. This is my very last video I'll be doing for them. So make sure you go check out those stamp sets and just kind of look at them. She's got a lot of really cool options for you available. So I've kind of got the basis of my layout down here, and I'm going to start embellishing and really kind of putting it all together. This top card here, I just use a piece of blue, and it's like blue with white speckles on it. It kind of looks like a snow pattern on the bottom of the card, and then I'm going to layer this tag, and this is actually a tag from Christmas that year, on a gift that was given to me, and I just really liked it. I thought it was really pretty, and I'm putting it right next to a picture of Kaylin standing beside our Christmas tree with, it was before he opened his Christmas present, so it's just kind of a Christmas picture, Christmas morning, and I wanted to make sure that we included it here, but it was kind of dim in our living room, so it wasn't the best lighting. So I did my very first stamping here. I stamped this Celebrate stamp from the Celebrate stamp set, and I just made a banner. I really like the pattern of this green and blue pattern here, and I just thought it would be really pretty to have a small banner on it and still kind of showcase the pattern in the background. This card with the footprint looks a little strange, but what that is that's my nephew's footprint, and he was just, let's see, he would have been about 4 months old at the time that she did this, and my sister used that as their gift tags that year. So she stamped his footprint down and then put, to and from on the back of the card, on the back of the footprint, which I thought was really cute, so I wanted to include that. The top right photo is just a picture of Kaylin with his Power Rangers costume on. That was one of the things he got for Christmas. And then I also had a piece of paper where he had written his name, so I cut that down and I'm just putting it on this top card with his photo. I am stamping the date here, and it's just going to say, of course, December 25, and I'm going to layer it on top of this picture at the very bottom left, and that's a picture of the little plate of cookies that we had. It was the remnants of the cookies, I shall say. It's the crumbs that were left, and then a little note from Santa to Kaylin. So Kaylin had written Santa like a little letter to go with the cookies, and that letter is actually in my album already. And then on the back of the letter, Santa had written back, "Merry Christmas XOXO Santa. P.S. The cookies were delicious." And so I just had taken a picture of that. And then I have a little cutout. It was like a 2x2 cutout that I had from one of the October Afternoon pattern papers. And it said, "The beard is near, so be good." And it's a picture of like Santa's beard. And so I'm going to layer the date on top of that. I'm also doing a couple stickers here, and I'm going to use some word stickers from these sticker sheets as well. These sticker sheets are from the My Mind's Eye Sleigh Bells Alpha and Word sticker set. And then I have this stamp that has 3 circles on it, and that is actually from one of the stamp sets as well, from the stamp shop, and it's actually from the calendar stamp set. So I'm just kind of using that as spacers on that one card. So the card said, "All I want for Christmas is," and then I put snow, because that's like Kaylin's thing. He always says it needs to snow at Christmas, it needs to snow at Christmas, and it never snows at Christmas in North Carolina. So I just wanted to document that was kind of what he wanted, and then the word snow didn't take up enough space, so I added that stamping around it just to kind of fill in the white space a little bit and add a nice little dimension to it. This layout actually took me a little bit longer to do than what my normal ones are, but I wanted to just kind of enjoy the process. Sometimes I just sometimes the layouts just come together so quickly, and sometimes they take a little bit longer. And this was one that just took a little bit longer, but I was really enjoying the process of putting it together. I stamped a stamp from the Happy Mail stamp set, and you can't see it here. All you see is the red pattern paper, but it has a circle with a heart on the inside of it, and that's what's on that red pattern paper. You should be able to see it in the still photos at the end, so make sure you look for that. But that's from the Happy Mail stamp set, and that's actually one of the new ones that I have gotten from the stamp shop. This is the first time I'm actually using it, and it is such a cute stamp set. So it has like sending and receiving and to and from and things like that on that stamp set. So go check that out, of course, if you haven't seen it yet. It's really a nice little stamp set. So this card down here is pretty much finished. I'm going to add a small little banner right behind the beard is near, because it just needed something right there, just a layer under the date. So that kind of finishes that one. Now, one thing I realized about halfway through this layout is I have stamping on every single card. Now, I've used some very small detail stamping, nothing real big. I think the Celebrate is the biggest thing that was stamped. I'm also going to stamp Happy at one point up here on the top with Kaylin's name, but I don't have any really large stamped elements other than a few words. And this received stamp is also from that Happy Mail stamp set that you can kind of see laying right there on the desk. I also pulled out some red ink. I don't typically stamp in red ink. Usually I'm a neutral kind of person. I go for blacks and grays. But I actually pulled out the red stamp set here, ink pad rather, to stamp the little heart beside received. And that's going to go on this card with the little gift tag that was on some of the presents that Santa had left for Kaylin. I also pulled out these brads to add a few little details around the page. I like having a letter from Santa, and I like having the gift tags on the layout. And I like having, the memorabilia of Kaylin writing his name. I'm also going to write a little Christmas story on this card down here at the bottom on the card with the photo of Ernest opening some presents. I just like having all those little things. Those are the types of things that later you're never going to remember what gift tags you used. You're never going to remember, the letter that you wrote to Santa or that your child wrote to Santa. So for me, those are the types of things I really want to make sure that I include in my project life. Well, I say project life, but just in my albums, because I mix my regular layouts with my divided page projector layouts as well. I just mix them all in together because I feel like it all coordinates, it all goes together, and I want to make sure that when you're flipping through the album, you see everything that's right there together. And you don't have to pull out 2 or 3 different albums to find the photos from the same time period. Now, I may change my style at some point, but for right now, that's how I feel about it. So I'm putting down this gift tag and this label, and this label just said sender. So I'm going to take these small alphabet stickers again and write my nephew's name, which is Finn, and that's whose footprint that is. I was trying to decide what else I wanted to include on this card, and I'm going to end up stamping another heart and putting a little banner behind the footprint and bringing in just a little bit of red to this card, because this card is very, most of the other cards have at least a little bit, actually every card has a little bit of red. This was the only card that did not have any red, so I'm going to end up adding a little pop of red in just a moment. Just laying down these last alpha stamps, these last alpha stickers rather, just to complete that little label on that card. Pulling out the Planner Basic stamp set here, and I had the heart on my stamp block already, so I just kind of lined it up on top of the banners to see which one that it fit best in, and it just fits in the basic one that I use all the time. And that is also the great thing about stamping your banners. You can make them whatever direction or orientation that you want to, and if you want to stamp them on pattern paper, you can. You just line up your stamp over the part of the pattern paper that you would like. That makes it really easy. That is one huge benefit to having the clear stamp sets over like the rubber mounted stamp sets, because you can't see through them, so you can't really line them up on pattern paper very well unless you're looking around the stamp set. But I like to be able to see through it and, you know, see where I'm actually stamping. I thought at first I would use a very large banner, and then I ended up changing my mind and just doing a small outline around the banner that I stamped with the Planner Basics stamp set. Now, I did use 4 stamp sets on this layout, like I mentioned before. The first one is the Celebrate with that Celebrate stamp. I also used the Planner Basics stamp set with the banner. I'm using the Happy Mail stamp set, which has a couple different ones. It has the little heart down at the bottom, which you can't see right now on the video camera. It just isn't bold enough. The ink wasn't bold enough, but you can definitely see that in the still photos at the end. It also had that received stamp set. It had the hearts on there, and then I'm going to also stamp happy on the very top of this layout, so you're going to see that as well. Then I used my calendar stamp set, which the calendar stamp set has, of course, the December 25th, and then I'm getting ready to stamp December 25, 2015 on this Christmas story card. And it also has those little circles that I stamped around the alpha stickers that say all I want for Christmas is snow. I did the little circle, they're like open circles stamping right there. Just adding a little bit of journaling. This is actually the only journaling on this layout other than just the few little bits like the snow and the fin and just the dates and things like that. But it says on the card, it said our story begins with ... And then I wrote, a wonderful Christmas morning at home. We woke up to find all the cookies and milk gone and Kaylin's stocking full of goodies. And every time I add a brad, I always put washi tape over the back of the brad because I just don't want it to puncture or ruin something on the opposite side. So every time you see me do that, I'm just using some random washi tape that I have sitting on my desk and covering up those exposed brads that are on the back. That's not necessary, of course, but that's just something that I like to do. So I always do it, and that's what you see me do. I added some gold snowflake stickers to this card that says all I want for Christmas is snow. It just seemed fitting to have snowflakes on the background. The card already had little gold like stars in the background, so it kind of mimics what snowflakes may look like. But I just like the added element of the gold snowflakes. Now, I don't really have a lot of gold anywhere else on the layout. I do have on that card with the green footprint, those polka dots, though they're not reflective really in the camera, those polka dots are actually gold as well. So there is a little bit of gold there. And then that's it. I don't really have any gold anywhere else on this layout, but I just really like that card that said all I want for Christmas, and I just felt like it stood out on its own. I didn't feel like I needed to really coordinate it very much with anything else on the layout because I felt like just on its own it had enough weight. I'm putting down my picture of Kaylin as well as his name here. And his N was really spaced far away from the CALE, and it wasn't going to fit on my card, not with the photo. So I actually, as you can see on the back, there's a little bit of washi. I just cut about 1/4 of an inch off of that paper and then kind of re-stuck it together. The letters were not affected by at all, but it's just the way that the paper was laid out. So I just went ahead and cut it and reattached it, which is what the washi tape is that's on the back. I'm adhering all this down, and if you have gift tags or anything like that with string on them and you want them the strings to stay in the same place, just add a little tiny bit of your glue runner on the back of it and they'll stick. They won't move around. And that's exactly what I did with all of the 2 tags that had ribbon on them or string on them. I just put a little bit of glue on the back and stuck them down. I'm stamping out that happy now, and I'm just using a little bit of the pattern paper from the October Afternoon 6x8 paper pack that I had, and that's actually from their eggnog collection. And I just stamped it. I couldn't get a dark enough image, so I ended up pulling out a different stamp pad. I had first used my Memento Tuxedo Black, and then ended up pulling out my Paper Tray Ink Smoky Shadow ink. And it's just a wetter ink. It has my Stampin' Up! One needs to be re-inked. So it just wasn't stamping dark enough, so I ended up stamping with that smoky shadow one for paper tray ink, and it just I like the way that that looks a little bit better. And I layered it on top of a little pink banner sticker, and then I am going to add another brad up here at the top. Brads are not usually my go-to thing when I'm embellishing a layout or a project life spread, but they were in my Christmas stash box. I have a 12 by 12 iris container that I keep all of my Christmas supplies in, just so that whenever I'm ready to scrapbook Christmas, it's all together. Christmas is a very strong theme. It's hard to mix Christmas themed items with other things, which you definitely can. If you have winter photos from February, you can definitely pull out some of those snow photos. And you can definitely, use the blues and the greens and the reds and the blacks and whites and stuff like that in other layouts. But I like keeping all of my Christmas stash together because I love Christmas. I love Christmas, and I will always scrapbook about Christmas. So I just like having it all together, and it just makes it easy when I am scrapbooking Christmas photos, just to pull that out and have it all right there together without having to go searching for it. It's just right there together. I keep it in, like I said, the 12 by 12 iris container, and I put that under my desk in the bottom. I have 6 iris containers stacked, so 3 on one side and 3 on the other, and I just keep all those together, and those keep my loose papers in them, as well as things like my Christmas stash in it. So it's all right there, ready to go when I want it. So this one I actually did another little banner with a heart in it, but I went ahead and went for green instead, and I used my Stampin' Up! Wild Wasabi ink, and the red one that I've been using is Stampin' Up! Rose Red ink. And that, my friends, is about to complete this layout. I'm just marking off a few little things on this A Christmas Story card, and I'm just adding a few little final touches. I'm going to go ahead and add the date, which is December 25, 2015, of course. And then that's going to finish this out. I have really, really enjoyed being on the Sonshine Stamp Company design team. Thank you so much, Amber, for giving me the opportunity. I had so much fun. Thank you so much to the other designers on the design team. It's been a great time. I've really enjoyed it, and I've really loved seeing what all of you guys create. I wish the next design team members well, and I hope that you have just as much fun as I did. And if you have not checked out the stamp shop, please go check it out, because she has some awesome stamps, and they are really truly a great quality, and they're going to last forever. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it, and have a great afternoon. Bye.